I am inevitable.
Yes, guys, it is time for the Loki Roundtable here on Chaos Central. It's good to see everybody here. We have got our 8 permanent panelists and our 1 guest panelist for today. We're going to go around really quick, get you guys out of the way, make sure you tell everybody about yourself, where you can be found, all that good stuff. Let's start right next to me. Big Afford Entertainment, Mr. Anzo Hodges, please tell everybody about yourself and where you can be found.
Yes, sir. What's up, people? You can find me at Big Afford Entertainment, and you can find me doing a show with one of these fine gentlemen on the panel here. But I do appreciate you doing the Loki one this time, Chris. So can't wait to get this started.
Awesome, great. Danny, go ahead and tell them about yourself.
This time, Chris.
I am Danny, aka Comic Chat. Like Anzo said, glad to be here on the panel. I do a lot of shows with these gentlemen here on the chat as well. And I'm ready to get down and dirty with Loki.
Absolutely. And then next up, one of the honorary Chaos Central members, as I like to call him, it is Comics Division. Comics, tell everybody about yourself and where you can be found, other than hurting yourself.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Well, you can find me at my channel, which is Comics Division, and I'm finally in a state where I can actually start making content again, which is fantastic. You can also follow me on Minds and Twitter at Comics Division, and yeah, I talk about things and stuff.
And I was going to say, look who's talking about hurting himself, the same guy who had staples in his head like a few weeks ago.
That's right, I forgot about that.
Yeah, okay. They're out, though. I mean, so I got past it. He'll get past it. But everything's good. Just lost a little more whatever was up there, if anything.
Lost a little gray matter?
Yeah, basically. And up next, Geiskar of the Basco Scenario. Tell everybody about yourself and where you can be found, please.
Yep, you can find me at the Basco Scenario on YouTube, Basco Scenario on Instagram and Twitter. Check out my channel. Got game clicks, some reviews, some random streams, some random DIYs as well. So definitely check it out. There's a lot of content coming. I just hit the 224 mark, so I went up 100 and something subs in less than a week. So thank you for everybody that's doing that. So totally awesome.
Very, very nice. Very, very good. It's a good jump. Up next, Mr. JJ, aka Sith Lord 3827. Tell everybody about yourself and where you can be found.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy JJ. You can find me a little bit everywhere and a lot of nowhere. You can find me 3 places on Sunday, right here for the Loki Roundtable. And then after that, at 8:30 p.m. Eastern tonight, we'll have the Bad Batch Roundtable here on Chaos Central. Excuse me. And tonight on Honstar's channel, me and Chris and Honstar will be doing Name That Tune. Monday nights, usually I do my weekly live stream called Randomness at its Finest. Come by, like, share, subscribe, all the fun stuff that goes with it. Tuesdays, you'll find me back here on Chaos Central and simulcast over on Anzo Hodges' channel for the Khaos list. Come by and check that out. Also, we're trying to get Khaos list, the Khaos Central YouTube channel. We're trying to get that growing. Without you guys in the chat, it won't happen. Let your friends know, tweet it out, share it out, all the stuff that goes with that. And last but not least, you'll find me back on Chris's channel, possibly sometimes for now the Rumble, for either being a contestant or as a combatant, as I'd like to say, or sometimes I come in and change it up as a wild card. Can't wait to get into the episode, Chris. Thanks for putting me in the panel. Great to see everyone.
Yes. And then up next, Mr. Austinator, who just got his grades back from his first official semester of, our first full year, I should say, of college, which I heard you did relatively well. That's a good job.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell everybody about yourself and where you can be found.
I have a channel where finally, after a 2-week break, I'm actually doing shit on it. I got a stream later on tonight at 10:30. Shadow Eye, the show that was dead, but now it's officially back alive. Will it disappear again? Probably, but hey, we'll see how it goes. But you can find me also later on tonight back on Chaos Central for the Bad Batch Roundtable. So go and check that out. Also, as you can tell in my name, hashtag release the Austinator's DCEU, because let's be honest, the DCEU is trash, and we need somebody who actually knows what they're doing, and I'm going to release it in chunks. So my first video on this will be my Man of Steel rewrite. So,
well,
good for you.
You said chunks. I mean, this isn't like taking the spoiled, nasty milk that the DCEU is and taking the chunks out of it and making it into your own thing, is it?
No. God, no. I hope not. I mean, I was thinking more under the lines of, you could probably do that if you invented something where you could maybe extract the good stuff out of it, but it's not existing yet. So it's just you gotta take things one at a time and just construct it like a Lego set. And also follow the Chaos Central YouTube channel and also the Twitter, because build everyone up. Glad to see everyone. This show is gonna get interesting.
Yes, indeed. And then let's go to LDG, Mr. Geeks and Joy. Tell everybody about yourself, where you can be found, please.
Well, what's going on, guys? Let me stop hearing myself. There we go. You can find me at LDG of Geeks and Joy, and you can also find my support channel for free tech support at Geeks and Joy IT. That's right. If you want it, Geeks and Joy it, I'll give it to you. You also find me on Geeks and Joy Nerderotica, guys. Remember, when geeking out is a turn on, it's not porn, it's Nerderotica. You find me on Twitter at Geeks and Joy, capital G, capital E, and coming soon to a website near you, nerderotica.com, a small social media platform community designed to do what YouTube can't.
Nice.
There you go.
Very good. That is our 8-person panelists. These are the permanent panelists, and then once a week, every week, we will have a special guest. This week's special guest is Mr. Positive Candor. Positive, how are you doing?
I'm doing well.
You're doing well. Very good. Tell everybody about yourself and where you can be found, please.
It can be found on Positive Candor. It's my YouTube channel, or at Positive Candor on Twitter.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Okay, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to go around. I'm going to start with Positive, since he is our special guest, and we will be giving 2 minutes for everybody to discuss. First off, our overall thoughts of the episode. Then we will go over what we liked, what we didn't like, and then we will do our final thoughts, predictions, and final grade for the episode. So the first thing is basically your overall thoughts of the episode. Positive, you got 2 minutes. Go ahead and talk about what your overall thoughts are about this episode.
Overall, I thought it was probably the best opening episode so far of all the Marvel shows that we've gotten. It was way better than WandaVision first episode, way better than even Falcon and Winter Soldier first episode. So I will say that about it. Liked Loki, obviously, in it. And obviously it's going to be primarily about him. But then, Owen Wilson was awesome in it as well. And then you had other, the cast right now is a pretty good cast, That's about it for now.
Okay, very good. Let's go up and start now with, let's go to Anzo. Anzo, 2 minutes if you need it. Tell us what your overall thoughts were. Go ahead.
I definitely have to agree with Positive Candor. The first episode of Loki was better than the first episode of WandaVision and The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I was enjoying it. I enjoyed the chemistry between Owen Wilson and Loki. I thought the story-wise is pretty good. They gave a little bit more explanation on the multiverse. So I'm definitely excited to see how this ends up, and hopefully it gets better.
Absolutely. All right. If you need it, 2 minutes, Danny, go ahead.
Well, I guess I'll make the hat trick because I definitely agree with what Anzo said and also Positive Candor. It was definitely better than the previous two Marvel projects that we've seen. I was also pleasantly surprised with how they explained to us the multiverse, how things are working. Owen and Loki have a good chemistry. I like the way it tied up to the different movies that we saw. How one timeline he thought he was hurting Thor, but actually hurt his mother. I think he showed remorse for that. I think this is definitely leading to this is going to be definitely an anti-hero version of Loki. Curious to see who the bad guy is, even if they say it's a version of him. We don't know. But I definitely like what I'm seeing now. I think this is definitely the best one out of the three. And in 6 episodes, so we got to get a lot done in a short period of time. But I think they're going to do it.
All right. And if you need it, comics, 2 minutes, go ahead.
Well, I'm probably going to be in the minority here.
I know.
I hated it.
You might not. You might not be.
I absolutely hated it. I thought it was continuity destroying trash.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Lovely.
Wow.
Hot takes.
The one thing that
I like it. I like it so far.
You sure?
to him.
You sure this?
I kind of agree.
I was
somebody
the
with
other
common
thing, too.
sense.
The funny thing about it, right before I was watching the episode, I've been trying to get through Death Note, which is just a fantastic anime, and all I could think while I was watching was I'd rather be watching Death Note rather than watching Loki.
Yes. 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 Yes.
So I asked comics to come on because we like having them on this.
Yeah, he had to bribe me with hookers and blow, man. I mean, I wasn't planning on watching the show.
I did.
Big mistake.
And now I'm trying to figure out how to get a mortgage to mortgage off stuff so I
Get
can
him out.
pay for the hookers and the blow because he
Oh,
wants
can
the
I-
expensive stuff.
You know what you need? You need the opposite of a phantom zone when people say very good shit like what just came out of his mouth. Okay.
No, I think we need a panel for like you and him because I know you're gonna trash it too, right? So we gotta
I'm
put
right
you guys,
behind him. There's a conga line that starts the comics and ends with me.
put you guys in the corner or
But-
some shit.
Oh yeah.
I
But
asked
now-
him to.
May I add, though, I can't speak for everybody, but I can speak for a few of us. Comics, we missed you, man. We missed that. instant.
Oh, facts.
I really do.
Facts.
That's
I
also
did-
part of the reason why I'm here is because I missed you guys. I'll pop through it just to hang out.
I did miss it about 45 seconds ago. I'm thinking now you go right back to Texas.
No. Well, so
In
when I
your
asked him to come
honor,
on,
I would. Sorry, the last thing. In your honor, I would go outside of my front house and start yelling at my parked car just for you, man. Just I hope
right.
you recover
Now-
faster.
when I asked him, he said, "Okay, I'll come on. I miss you guys." And like, "We miss you too." And then he's like, "But I'm not going to hold back." And I said, "Don't." I said, "I don't want you to hold back. I want to hear everything the way that you feel about this." 'Cause
What the fuck?
I love that though. I love it. I love it when people just are like throwing everything at.
You know what's funny?
Danny,
He starts red, but now I'm seeing a little brown.
Danny,
A little bit of brown on his face
hey,
now.
Shut up. Okay, you know what? That's it. That's it. I'm gonna. Okay, you know what?
Now, I have to kill all of you.
Why all of us? Damn.
No, well, especially him, but no. So So, Danny, you trashed WandaVision the first 3, and that's just how it goes.
I'm sitting here
So,
silent. I'm silent. I'm not saying
I'm
nothing.
just saying. I'm going to let you do that. I'm going to let him do what he wants to on this. It's his say, his opinion, and he's the one that has to answer for it if people don't agree.
Just wrong.
And I'm sure he'll answer for it.
I to agree with my opinions. So.
I know. All right, so let's move it along. Geiskar, 2 minutes if you need it. Overall thoughts.
Honestly, I don't know how I feel about it. I seriously don't. I think Falcon and Winter Soldier was actually a first better episode than this, personally.
What?
I agree. I actually agree.
The fuck are these guys smoking?
I watched the episode twice.
Not enough.
I watched the episode twice, and even my wife, when I was watching, found it really boring, too much talking. But there's a lot of stuff for me that just doesn't make any sense if you look at the bigger picture. And one of them I'll get into later because I'm sure I'm not going to be the only one. So yeah, I'm on the fence about it.
Okay. All right. 2 minutes if you need it. JJ, go ahead.
Overall, for a first episode, I'm in agreement with most people that spoke right now. I enjoyed it. But at the same time, I agree with Geiskar. Falcon and Winter Soldier had a better opening scene or episode, excuse me. No, Anzo, I'm not dogging the episode.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. When I just hear it, it's funny to me.
Hey. I'm not dogging Loki. I'm liking it. But like I say with the Bad Batch, it's the first episode. We got to wait and see what's coming up. But what happened in the first episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier was better. That's all. I like them both, but Winter Soldier was better.
The 8-minute action scene was fantastic.
It was.
I can't speak for the rest of the episode, but that 8-minute action scene.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
It's just weird to me because I remember a lot of people talking about Falcon saying, "Oh, the racial aspect and this and that into it, and they can't stand it." And now all of a sudden, it was better than Loki.
It's a good series, man. I still don't like it. I just say the first 8 minutes of action was great.
Yes,
and
first episode because they took all the best of it. They put all the best of it in the first episode in Falcon, so that's why you're saying it's better first episode. I agree with you as far as the action is concerned. So,
right,
but yeah, the rest was absolute junk, trash.
Well, I like Falcon and Winter Soldier, the whole of it. But as far as the first episode between the two right now, Falcon and them got it because it was just better. Now, I'm liking what Loki is having to offer us. I just wait to see where it takes us. That's all. I'm not picky, like some people are. Comics.
Whoa!
But,
I thought you were going a different direction with that.
I just have taste.
Yeah. But still, I like the episode. Yeah, I didn't see too much wrong with it because, like I told you guys, these guys are my books, so it's all good.
All right. Austinator, 2 minutes if you need it. What was your overall thoughts?
I'm gonna agree with a good portion of the panel that I enjoyed the episode. I actually found it to be a better opener than WandaVision, and it was a better first episode than Falcon and Winter Soldier, even without the action aspect. The chemistry between Loki and Owen Wilson was great, because Marvel does usually nail the chemistry between the main actors. So the chemistry was good. I think Hiddleston definitely was a standout. The comedy, some of it was good. It was actually kind of creative at points, even if it was kind of like dad humor in a sense. But there are issues with it. Overall, it was good.
All right, and then 2 minutes, LDG, if you need it. To give us your
if I need it.
Here we go.
Can I use my mulligan?
That's not right. Wrong show. Here you go. 2 minutes. Go.
Here we go.
Buckle up, boys and girls. All right. So as far as the hype is concerned, WandaVision wins across all 3 episodes. As far as I'm concerned, none of the series were hyped up better than WandaVision. They really buttered our asses for WandaVision, okay, as far as the hype is concerned. Loki would be number 2 and Falcon would be number 3. Now, as far as the first episode, I actually did enjoy Loki, but they fucked it up all in the first episode. They're already fucking shit up. I enjoyed the first episode. Now we're just talking about what I liked about it, right? The first episode.
Overall
Overall,
we'll get to
overall, I
next.
thought it was a good start. There was some so sort of some specifics I'll get into as far as what I think they effed up, but I did enjoy it. I was able to relate to me as far as the whole Loki's, what happened to Loki after he disappeared there, this little interruption in time. I think it's an interesting plot device that they're doing. I enjoyed the subtle humor, the sudden, like the Jurassic Park shot out, the Fallout shot out, and just the overall flow of it. And now, as far as the details are concerned, we'll get into that next time in the next section here. But I mean, I won't hate on it. I'll definitely I would say that this was, as far as maybe, Captain Falcon, Winter Soldier did have a lot more action in the first episode. I'll give them that, but that's it. As far as like actually watching the episode itself, I actually felt like that episode, like, I was like, wait a second, if I was watching WandaVision right now or anything else, the show would already be over. Like, it definitely stretched the time, and I found myself enjoying watching it overall. So.
Okay, very good. And I will. You got that just under 2 minutes. Very good, very good. All right. Overall thoughts. I do agree with the majority of you guys. I think it was a great start. I won't disagree though with comics. There are some continuity issues here when you actually look at the overall. I watched it like twice, and the second time around, I said, "Wait a minute, is that really how it worked out?" And there's some issues there. Now, I don't know if they're glaring enough for me not to like it, because again, a lot of these I've just been kind of trying to pull myself back far enough that I can watch it at a casual view, and then I'll go back and I'll try to pick at it a little more. I just like Tom Hiddleston as Loki, so I was pretty much mesmerized by the way he did Loki, and he still is doing Loki like Loki. What was interesting is they gave Loki this secondary layer, which they've done before, and now I'm kind of sitting there wondering, is it what it's been in the past? And I'll talk about it here in a minute. But is it what it was in the past, or is it something new that we're seeing here? The whole setup for what they're doing in this, I'll have to see how they play with that. Comics and I have talked off stream about some of the stuff that we think is going to happen here, and I'm with him. And if they really push it as hard as I think they might push it, it's going to really hurt this show, I think. But overall, first episode, I do think it was one of, if not the best first episode. Not first opening scenes or anything. The opening scene for Falcon and the Winter Soldier is absolutely the best of all of them. That one great action sequence was just perfect. This was better put together overall. I don't feel like we're missing anything. I felt like we got picked right up where we needed to pick up. So that's what I thought overall. Let us go now to what we liked. What we liked. We're going to start again with Mr. Positive Candor, seeing as he's our special guest. Positive, what did you like about this episode? 2 minutes. Go.
The opening and the ending. That's about it. Goodbye. No,
really?
No. I mean, I'm not messing with you.
Okay.
No, I mean, I don't know. I do have an issue. Well, I guess I'll discuss that on the negative part. I liked, the beginning and the ending. Probably the most. The beginning, where we see Loki shoot out of the sky and land in the Gobi Desert, and then he's taken away to this Time Variance Authority place. And that whole routine of the stupid, in a way it's dumb, but I can't help it. The line with nobody in it, and you got to take a ticket. was goofy, and it is kind of dumb in a way, but it was still enjoyable. And then the ending, when we get whoever Loki is our whoever, where he drops the lantern and basically burns up all these time cops coming after him, was, well, on fire. I mean, since he literally burnt them to crisp and everything, and then got their little reset charge handily and stuff like that. That's the stuff in the middle is kind of what didn't like, But we'll get into that later.
Hey, positive. Positive. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah.
Hey, can I? Or this question is for everybody. Did anybody notice where the fuck the handcuffs went to? Did I miss them? Were they in the sand somewhere? Or
between the friction from the re-entry from space or wherever, and the landing in the coarse sand, because I hate sand.
Well,
it's coarse.
I mean,
oh wait,
it gets everywhere.
Yeah, it does. I mean, just horrible.
Well, I mean, he
between
conveniently
those two things.
Wrong show, Chris.
Yeah, he conveniently just tore off that thing off his face really easily too when he landed. So so very.
I was just wondering if I was the only one who wondered where the fuck the handcuffs went to. Like,
the temporal displacement within time, reality.
The magical bullshit device between.
Chris.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's
fuck you, LDG.
Loki.
First off, fuck you, LDG, because you just made me fucking realize. Now I gotta go back and make. Like, wait a minute, where the fuck were the handcuffs? I didn't notice that shit. And now I gotta go look in this. Oh, come on, man.
Shit that don't make sense.
What up?
Okay,
no, I would have done it if he had the space gem, and I'll just say this and be done with it. That when he teleported himself with the space gem, he should have he should have saw the handcuffs fall down, and that would have shut me up. You know what I mean? Very simple. You know what I mean? Just teleport himself. Left, he doesn't have to bring the handcuffs, right? You got the space.
As he grabs the Tesseract and he backs out, they drop to the floor because
they just drop to the floor because it just teleports him and not the handcuffs.
Well,
you know what I mean?
They exist in that time, which would have been nice. That would have been good. You're already. I see. Are your eyes okay? You're rubbing at your eyes. Were you watching it that hard already?
Got a little itch here. That's
Were you already watching it that close? Literally
got WandaVision and fucking got Loki in my WandaVision here.
All you gotta do is say one word: Mephisto. There, LDG's.
All right. 2 minutes. Anzo, what did you like? Go.
Yeah. So first off, I really liked the chemistry between Owen Wilson and Loki. I thought that was great. The explanation for the multiverse was a little bit better than what we got in Endgame. I'm going to see where it goes because I know a lot of people have a few issues with that explanation, but I think there's something behind it that they're probably going to explain a little bit more to that, like maybe the time variants are lying to them or lying to him or something like that to get him to do what he wants to do. I thought the episode was well done. I know it wasn't a lot of action, but I did like a lot of the chemistry. I loved when fucking Loki went back into the room and he watched his mom die, and you could see as he's going through what's happening, where he's laughing, he's crying. Like, that scene was no talking, but it was just facial acting. I think he did an amazing job on that. I also like the fact that they're going a little bit different, right? Because Owen Wilson's character, what's his name? Morbius, right?
Morbius.
He knows, he's been following Loki, so he knows Loki turns good. He knows Loki has a heart in him. So that's the reason why he was doing what he was doing, to try to get Loki to turn good and realize what's his motivation was. Why is he doing the things he did? And I thought that part of the story was really good, because now we get to see Loki basically turn to the good side on a different way than he did in the movies. So those are some of the positives that I liked in that episode, man. I really enjoyed a lot of that stuff.
Awesome. All right, 2 minutes if you need it, Danny. What did you like?
Well, I really can't say too much because Alonso pretty much said it all on what I like as well. I thought the show was put together well. I like the way that we saw different timelines in different of the MCU movies. I like that. Definitely like the chemistry between Owen and Tom. I think that's going to be a good kind of buddy cop kind of situation whenever they start rolling with this. I like the situation because I know that black female cop will come out hard like she's all hard on everybody, and then at the end they're gonna end up her and Loki gonna have some kind of tough love friendship kind of stuff. I can see that coming. What I really enjoyed about this, because everybody in the past, well, not everybody, but some people talk about there's some kind of agenda, there's some kind of wokeness. I didn't see the first shred of wokeness, any kind of agenda. All I saw was Loki, MCU, a movie telling a story, and I like what the story was saying. So I'm definitely for this. I think so far in the first episode, if I look at the whole totality of both shows prior to this and what I've seen the first 45 minutes of this episode, I think that it's put together much better than the first two. So I'm liking it.
All right. Comics.
One thing I had to say,
like?
there's actually several things I did like about the show. I'm not just a complete hater. One thing I had to say that I think Marvel Studios does right is they are great at capturing an aesthetic. And it's no different with this show. It's shot very well. The visuals are always on point. The technology is kind of weird, antiquated, but yet advanced at the same time. And like I said, it kind of captures that aesthetic. I know that's where you can kind of see some of Fallout in there. The actual scene that I actually liked was where you saw Loki as DB Cooper. And that actually caused me to start paying attention to the show again. And I thought that was like really well executed. And if the series was about Loki's antics, doing stuff like DB Cooper, I think that would have been a great series. Obviously, having being tied together with some sort of meta narrative.
I hated that scene.
I'm a big. I won't say I'm a big fan of DB Cooper, but I'm very fascinated by the mystery of DB Cooper, and I just kind of like the explanation of it. I was like, that's kind of funny, and the ending credits were actually done very well with all the different paperwork they had and whatnot. I like, again, going back to the whole thing with the aesthetics, I thought that was done very well. But overall, like story wise, I didn't care for it. We'll get into that one and the stuff I didn't like. But like I said, the visuals, Tom Hiddleston did great. I mean, he was always a great Loki. He still is. He definitely captures it.
It had an X-Files feel to me.
Yeah, I guess you could say it kind of did. But like I said, the aesthetics were done very well in the show.
Geisker, 2 minutes. What did you like?
I pretty much agree with what Anzo, Danny, and Comic Division, just said. Those were great points. What I liked was also how they tied into the other movies. But aside from that, there was nothing more than that for me. Like, the chemistry was fine, but I don't know. I'm telling you, I'm on the fence with this one. I have no idea.
Okay, fair enough. 2 minutes if you need it. JJ, go ahead.
I have to echo everybody else. Pretty much everything everybody was saying. I especially liked the way Loki was looking back. I know Anzo was explaining this. I believe it was Anzo. Looking, through time, finding out what was going on. And we've experienced this through the past movies. Loki is devious, he's evil, but he does have a heart. And hopefully the way the show works out, that we'll see how big of a heart Loki really has. To me, it was just entertainment. That's how I watched it. I sat there and ate my dinner and watched the show, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. There was a couple things that I could have done without, but that's for later. But all in all, man, I thought it was, I like 95% of it. Keep it simple.
Okay. All right, very good. Austinator, 2 minutes if you need it. What did you like?
I'm gonna again echo everybody. The chemistry between Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson was great, and the scenes they had in this first episode it kind of felt more like a therapy session, where it's like, why do you do what you do, and what is your motive behind everything, and why do you do what you do? It was kind of like breaking him down, and you kind of see like what makes Loki tick, and Tom Hiddleston knocked it out of the park with the end, where he's looking like through his life, and like you just see like his facial expressions and the reactions he had to it. That to me was good acting on his part, and the humor is. I thought it felt like dad humor in a way, where it's kind of like that, not necessarily like, it's more like obvious humor, but it actually kind of works in some aspects, like where Loki's like in one of the offices and there's like a bunch of papers and he's like, sign this for, to say like, oh, this is everything you've ever said. And then Loki's like, what? And then another paper comes in and he's like, what was this? And he's like, I beg your pardon. And then again, he keeps it. I thought that was actually pretty funny, and the humor for the most part wasn't bad, and just I think overall it was fun, and I think it was able to use its time wisely. There are issues with it, but it actually has me more so invested than the other MCU shows. So that's it for me.
Seeing yourself killed is probably eye opening too.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, very good. And LEG, 2 minutes. What did you like?
Okay, I'm gonna catch a few things you guys did not even mention, and that has to do with a lot of the stuff that wasn't said. The long line, represented the fact that there was a multiverse war. They used to be busy as shit, and they even mentioned it, right? Like that was the whole point of the TVA, was to create this sacred timeline, which means, right, if you're going to be the three lizard people that fix time, that means at some point that there was a huge multiverse out there. There was prunings and left and rights and all this, like they showed in that Jurassic Park, which I love that too. I mean, I couldn't get over that when they were showing the video. I couldn't get that damn Mr. DNA video out of my head.
She sounded
like when
just
they were,
like it. Tara
almost
Strong
sounded like him.
Voice. It's like the female version of it, which to comics point might be even a little nod to what they're trying to do in this series. Just going to say that.
Yeah,
real quick.
totally loved it. But yeah, I loved how the long line made it look like, and the way they had everything down, right? Like everybody had, like it was to pick a number, do this, do that. Like they had this whole thing already set up, meaning they've been doing this for a very long time, and they needed to do it because before all of this was created, the timeline was an utter effing disaster. That's why. Everything was because now everything's good. Now we got a single timeline. We're not busy, and that's why you got that whole emptiness. I did enjoy the whole "this is everything that you've ever said" part. The only thing that got me was that they didn't make him sign every single piece of paper. Okay, that I would have loved that part. Like he was like next, like after he signs the first paper, he goes, yeah, the next one. Make him feel like he had to sign every, document every single thing that he said instead of just putting one signature on there. I like how. Now, the way I'm seeing this is that the TVA is something for Loki to overcome, right? Loki is not liking what he is seeing. He's hating the fact that there is something even more powerful than the frickin' Infinity Stones, and that his life is predetermined because he didn't go outside the bounds. So I think secretly that is what he's going to need to overcome, is this TVA, right? Because Loki always shoots big. And the only thing big right now is the TVA. Last point, I loved how they set up the intimidation, the ignorant, the arrogant factor of the TVA. My only downfall is they fucked it up in the end.
All right, and 2 minutes for me. One of the things, I totally agree with LDG on the line thing. I love that. I love the Mr. DNA. Like, I heard Tara Strong sounded just like him, except with the female twist. The part where he goes into whatever the receptionist guy's name was that had the little drawer and had all of those time stuff, all of the chaos, or all the
Infinity
Stones.
Infinity Stones.
Thank you. I'm in 5,000 places right now. Anyways, the Infinity Stones. I thought that was hilarious. I really was like, he has just been shown that everything that's happened in the past 10 years doesn't matter. Which, at the same time, we'll get to it later.
Is infuriating.
Yeah. So, what we liked. So, anyways, I thought that was funny. I just love the way that Hiddleston handles Loki. It's always is he being serious? Is this really who and what he is at this moment? Is this what is actually going on? Or are we doing what we've done in the past? Make you believe so wholeheartedly that even after Endgame happened, or the Infinity War happened, and he died, we were like, did he die? Did he die? This kind of gave us that final thought on that. But I liked the showing him his life, and I liked him once he got a hold of the little collar thing, him playing around with the woman. I liked that. It's like, how do you like it? How do you like it? How do you like it? But we'll go to the things we don't like right now. That's just some of the things, along with a lot of the things you guys said. So what didn't we like? 2 minutes. Positive. What didn't you like? Go.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but Loki is GB Cooper. No, did not like that. What's he going to be next? A freaking unknown soldier?
Maybe.
There's, what? Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could throw him into any unknown character and say, okay, that was Loki. Actually, and not whoever. Well, I mean, I didn't mind the Infinity Stones as paperweights because those are not the Infinity Stones from the regular Earth universe anyway. They're from different universes. So obviously they would be paperweights there. Well, there was more than one of each, if you noticed.
Yeah, I noticed.
So yeah, you're getting into that aspect of, okay, yeah, obviously there's Infinity Stones in different universes before they finalized everything into one timeline.
That is correct.
I guess, basically. So that's basically what they're saying. And let's see what else didn't like that. Well, the Miss Minutes thing, the little animation thing that they did was kind of goofy in a way. And I don't know if anybody watched it past the credits or not, but she does come and say an extra line with about a little bit over a minute to go in the credits. It says, thank you for visiting the TVA. We hope you enjoyed your stay. I don't know if anybody watched through the credits to see that part or not, but
No, I didn't see that.
God, no.
Okay. But anyway,
I did catch that. Yeah, the TV talked at the end. Hope you enjoy your stay. I thought that was cute.
Mm-hmm. All right, Anzo, 2 minutes. What didn't you like? Go.
All right. So first, I'll explain. I did not like the DB Cooper part. It made absolutely no fucking sense whatsoever. Why the fuck does Loki need money for Thor on Asgard?
Doesn't.
Yeah, it was
Yes,
a bet.
It was a bet.
It was a bet.
Go
and
do this.
No, it was a bet, and he had money. So obviously he was doing something with the money, right? I don't know the story about DB Cooper or whatever, but I just thought
he lets the money go at the end.
And then
Right
you're gonna have Thor making a bet to him to go to Earth to do some stupid shit. Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. Another thing I didn't like was Loki's hair. So you watch what happens after, when at the beginning, Loki has long hair, and then when we get to the series, his hair is short. It's just something that really caught my attention on that. I'm like, okay.
I thought his hair got longer throughout the series.
No,
I thought it was about the same length as it was in the Avengers.
I'll go back and check, but to me it looked like it was the same throughout. But I'll go back.
It got longer throughout the series. I want to say.
Okay,
That's still long.
It's still what?
It was long.
During the series?
Yes. In the
longer?
show, it was long.
Okay, but even still, right? He had long hair at the beginning. He went through the portal, and then his hair is short. So his hair should still be the same way as it was then, you know? Second off was, the dude not knowing what the Tesseract was. When Loki goes and asks him, he's like, where's the Tesseract? He's like, what's that? I'm like, wait a minute. You don't know what the Tesseract is? You have a bunch of Infinity Stones in your dress, but you don't know what the Tesseract is?
Yeah.
You're a time person. You should know what the Tesseract is. All right. Another thing to go with the Infinity Stones, they kind of made the Infinity Stones obsolete. Like, you know, we just got a bunch of them using as paperweights. But at the same time, I have to try and think, okay, well, they're in a realm where time doesn't matter. So they could put those stones back anytime they want to. They could have them for millions of years and then put them back in the right places to fix the timeline. So that was a part right there. And last thing is, and it's not really about the show, but it's just like, for me, I like that they're doing Loki, but now you're bringing back dead characters. So what you're doing with that is you're taking away the weight of them dying. You know what I mean? So if you do that with Loki, then you want to bring back Tony Starks in some other way. So it kind of kills the odds. It's like, okay, well, you're going to kill somebody, but hey, 2 years, 10 years later, you bring them back. So those are the things that I just didn't like.
Really quick to your bet thing. Whoops, I got it wrong here. Thor would most certainly make a bet with Loki.
But
like
for
that.
Loki to go to Earth, to a realm he is protecting,
it's not about protecting or not.
And Loki,
it's that they always want to one up.
I don't buy that.
To mess with each other. I mean, he does it with his friends. He talks
I
about,
don't
do
buy
this,
that.
do that. I think it makes perfect sense.
No, I don't buy that.
And the fact that it's somebody that in history we don't even have any clue. They have literally no clue who that guy was. It would make sense that a man who just disappeared in reality wasn't even a part of this world or this realm. So it made sense to me. I mean, and that's fine. You don't have to like it. I mean, that's fine. Absolutely. 2 minutes, Danny. What didn't you like?
I think some of the jokes at the beginning was a little goofy to my liking. I think I heard you say earlier about a certain part of the show made the last 10 years irrelevant. The time variance, what they can do and what they can't do. Just kind of food for thought. Well, that's kind of like real life, because if you believe in Christianity, if you believe in heaven and hell, then God already knows what we're going to do. So they already know what they're going to do. So does that make our life irrelevant? So just food for thought from that. At the end of the day, this stuff is fake. So I don't put all this stuff into it and being like, hair short, this is that. Was it entertaining? Did I feel like I didn't waste my money in the pay for watching Disney Plus? I didn't feel that way. I will agree with y'all that y'all said that the first 8 minutes of Falcon was better, but overall, if you do the whole length of the shows, I think this show is much better. I like the way it's tying up some ends and making connectivity to some of the other movies. Not gonna be everybody's cup of tea, as I can apparently see, but we all knew, or some of us on the panel already said that Tony Stark was coming back. Iron Man was coming back. They're probably gonna bring Cap back. So this right here is how they're gonna do it. Probably they're gonna bring Black Widow back in some multiverse. So I'm not even surprised or mad at that, because it's called multiverse. In different multiverses, different universes, we're gonna see different things. So that could spice it up. That could hurt some people's feelings. But at the end of the day, Marvel is trying to make money. And if they can make money showing certain characters that bring in the box office, then they're going to recycle that character any way that they want to. So that doesn't bother me at all. It doesn't dilute the story at all. I don't sit here and try to pick apart every little thing. But for the most part, I told Anzo, and I think Gasco on there said I thought some of the jokes were a little corny. That's really my only nitpick.
Just to be sure, Loki's hair did not get longer through the series. I just watched it. It's the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it didn't get longer.
It's shoulder length.
Sven,
it's
I love
shoulder
this.
length. But
yeah, it's shoulder length from the start to the end.
Okay.
All right, Sven here. I love this. Unless he steals a handful of stones and retcons the Star Wars sequel trilogy, kills off Captain Marvel, and fixes Trek I'm not interested.
Anything
I
else?
love that one. Yeah. Wait. Let's just
Seriously.
go back and change a lot of shit. Okay. Up next, what didn't you like? Comics.
You might want to give him 5 minutes.
2 minutes.
Okay,
2
I
minutes.
have to preface this where I'm coming from. As a fan, I like continuity and I like canon. And when things come along and violate it, it does irritate me. And the reason why I call it continuity breaking trash is because of the whole thing with the Infinity Stones. The way it kind of diffused everything. Oh yeah, we just use them as paperweights because we have so many of them. It's like you kind of lessen the importance of the Infinity Stones that took place over the last 10 years of the series. And to me, it just totally undercut everything we just experienced. And there's better ways. If obviously actors age out and you're going to have to replace people. But the issue is, if you want to bring Captain America and Iron Man back, don't kill the character off.
I agree.
Don't do these things, because as a fan, when you find a sneaky way of bringing them back, it annoys me. So that's the majority of what I'm seeing in this, is that it takes a giant wrecking ball to the last 10 years of MCU continuity. And even like the stuff with Loki, when Owen Wilson was going and interviewing him, Loki would have an answer for everything. Because we have to remember, at this point in time, he is still a villain. He
agree.
Still thinks he's right. He still thinks he's justified. I think he would not have changed, even watching what transpired, essentially, because this is Loki from the Avengers. We have to get him caught up. So he essentially watched the movie version of what happened.
This is your life.
Yeah, this is your life, Loki. He I don't think would have been fazed by it, because it's like, he's still in that position of righteousness. Maybe it may have planted a seed, and that's something that could have transpired over the course of the series. But I don't think he would end up where he is now, which is basically at the end of Infinity War, because that's where he gets killed.
Can I make a quick comment on that comment?
I want to make one too.
I agree with you 1,000% that he felt that way. I don't think he actually changed until he saw that A, the Infinity Stones was really paperweights, and B, damn Thanos killed him in front of his eyes. That I think kind of made him shift his thought process.
I think he would be like, okay, if I find out I die, there's a way I'm gonna get around this. I think he's conniving. He's the god of trickery and mischief.
And I'll say this: it wasn't even him dying, because after he sees him die, he says something like "glorious" something or whatever his words were. It's after
Glorious
that when
purpose.
Right, glorious purpose. Right. It's after that when he went. After that, that's when he went to get the Tesseract, and then he realized that the stones were nothing, and then he realized that nothing, his powers or anything like is worth it here in this area, and that's when he changed. It wasn't when he seen Thanos kill him.
And I don't understand why his powers wouldn't work, or why the Infinity Stones wouldn't work.
All right. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, to your point, I don't disagree with you on the 10-year thing. There's a lot of stuff with what you said there that I will agree with, and I'll have to get at with the predictions and stuff. But okay, anything else really quick? Anything? Comics?
Oh, I think I pretty much already said it, but yeah, I like I said, that scene just undermines everything.
Okay. All right. Geisgar, 2 minutes. What didn't you like? Go.
Adding on to what Comic Division said, why call them Infinity Stones if they're not infinity? Yeah. Right? That's the whole point of those stones, that they're all powerful and mighty, but because in this realm they don't work, makes no sense to me. And this is why I'm on the fence with this whole thing, is because as a comic book reader and going back to canon and stuff like that, I've tried a lot to separate myself from the books to what we're getting on the screen, because it doesn't add up on certain things. On many things, it doesn't add up. But when you take critical pieces like the Infinity Stones and make them minute and insignificant, it's true. It kind of kills the whole hype that what we watched those whole 10 years until that
makes it irrelevant.
Exactly. And that's why I'm on the fence with it, because I've watched a lot of these movies separating myself from the comic books and for entertainment, but when they take things of that proportion and make it insignificant, it does get to me, and that was one of my major issues with it. The other thing that I'll nitpick was the whole paper thing. Are you fucking serious? You're freaking printing shit on physical paper and making him sign stuff. Like for me, I found that. Yeah, it's like exactly right. You can see the freaking the rip parts of the paper from the top Matrix printer. I don't
That's
know.
a script.
Yeah, so it's just, exactly. So everybody's life is scripted, kind of, I guess. But I don't know. But for me, it was mostly the thing I really got upset about was the Infinity Stones and the impact that did on me for those other movies that were out there. So that's why I said I'm pretty much on the fence, and that's what made me not like this episode more than the Falcon Winter Soldier.
Okay, very good. JJ, 2 minutes, and I'll try to be back before then. So try to use all of it, or just go. All right.
Yeah, I got you. First off, I agree. I agree with everybody else. The thing with the Infinity Stones just made the past 10 years irrelevant. It made Quicksilver's death, Black Widow's death, Captain America's death irrelevant. Like, it didn't matter. It lifted the seriousness of it. And notice the first stone he grabs out of the drawer is the time stone. And he just either A, looks at it or tries to use it and couldn't. That just, to me, that don't make no sense, because even though they're out of the universe or out of time, that shouldn't mean the stones have no power.
Right.
That's stupid. That is absolutely stupid. It negates the past 10, 11 years that we've already got. It's like, okay, why did you even make those movies if you're just going to go ahead and just turn it all away right now? When he's waiting in line and he watches the cartoon, all right, don't get me wrong, I appreciate the explanation, but I could have done it without the cartoon. I could have cared less about it. I would have loved to seen it more live action. Granted, yes, I know it would have cost money to do it, but it would have been a better live action version instead of an animated kids cartoon. I didn't like that. Also, I'm not dogging Owen Wilson, but this character Morbius has got to grow on me because I've seen him in funnier roles. I haven't seen all his stuff, but I've seen him in funnier roles, and him trying to be serious just don't fit with me. I'm not saying he's not right for the part, but this is just the first episode. Yeah, my biggest complaint is pretty much everybody else's, man. It's the whole stone aspect. It don't make no damn sense. And I'm not a book reader, and even I picked up on that. I was like, well, then why did you build up to freaking Endgame if the stones don't mean nothing?
But they're not saying the stones don't mean nothing. They're just saying the stones don't mean nothing in that reality where they are.
Yeah, where they are at. They don't mean that.
They need to explain that.
And they do. They also explain that time doesn't flow properly. So even though they're using the stones as paperweight, they can always put those stones back to where they are at any time without changing any timeline.
They have them in a fucking drawer.
They specifically said that magic doesn't work in this realm.
That's the point right there.
Yes,
that's
the magic doesn't work. Magic doesn't work in that realm. But time doesn't run fast in that realm either. Time goes differently. So they could be in there for millions of years, and it could only be split seconds in our reality. So for them, it's not really important for them to take those stones and put them back in the places where they're supposed to be at that moment.
That's the point I'm making. That's the point I'm making. They got the stones in the drawer. Mm-hmm. Why haven't they put them back?
Because they don't have to. They could do it any time.
Because they pruned them. There's only one timeline right now. So the place where they came from, just like the Space Stone came into their possession, they pruned all those timelines. So there's no place to put those stones.
But you see, I don't have a problem with what you guys are saying. But they're still significant, right? They should still be significant, not be in a fucking drawer.
It's in a vault somewhere.
Well,
exactly.
If you guys, it's canon. It's canon that they don't work outside their own universe.
Right.
That's comic book canon. Mm-hmm. The second they leave their own universe, and yes, each universe is infinite, right? So that's why they're called Infinity Stones. Each infinite universe, your stones only work in that universe. The second you go outside that infinite universe, they stop working. I'm completely fine with that because that was dictated in the comics.
So canon's not going to make any fucking sense when freaking Spider-Man, you have the 3 fucking Spider-Man, so the other Peter Parker shouldn't have any strength in the other universe either.
No,
Why?
there's a difference
No,
between the
they're-
stones and somebody else's power.
But they would have power because they're in another universe. They're not in the time variant universe. That's totally
Yeah,
different
I
from
believe
any
that- I
other
believe-
reality.
I believe the time variants. I believe they're in the Nexus. I think they're actually like hovering
Could
in
be.
the Nexus.
Could
and I
be.
think that's
Could be.
why
They are in a developer room
Pocket
as in
universe.
game speak. In game speak, you know, a developer room is where everything is tested, and it's somewhere in that game in reality. When you're playing a game, it's typically below the map, above, like way up above, past the barrier. And if you know the right code, the right sequence, you can get to these rooms. But it's very much like that. Everything is tested within this, you know. So yeah, I mean, I understand that, but we will go ahead and go to Ostator. Ostator, 2 minutes. What didn't you like about it?
Yeah, I have only really 2 things I didn't like, and the first thing is the thing that we all said is these stones. Now, I get it. It's in a different universe. They don't work, which makes sense because that is canon. However, I don't like that they're just in a drawer because it's just they don't feel. It just makes them feel not important. Like it just
it cheapens it.
yeah, and like and that also leads into actually another thing with this is that they could have clarified a bit more about why they even have them there to begin with. They could say like it could just be a lame explanation, but it would make sense. Like they have to put them back in a certain amount of time, or else something fucks up, or like they can't bring it back now because if they do bring it back now, it can convolute stuff. Like it's lazy and lame, but it would make sense. I'd buy it, but when they're just sitting there, it just doesn't really work for me. And also in a hypothetical scenario, what if somebody finds out and then they break into said place only to then steal the Infinity Stones?
Like Loki tried and realized nothing would happen.
Well, I'm just saying in a hypothetical situation.
Loki tried that. That's what he did. He broke out and he went straight for the Tesseract. And then he realized Tesseract's it's not working in this route.
Yeah.
There's no powers.
Exactly.
So his point was like, what's the point?
Okay.
Right.
Anything else?
And I think Anzo may have brought it up is when, because you're doing Loki and Loki died, it's kind of like comic book logic where they kill off a character and then they bring him back right away. It's kind of lazy and pointless.
Yeah.
Like when they killed off Superman, they brought him back. It doesn't work, and it's dumb and lazy. So those are my problems.
All right. LDG, 2 minutes. That's all you get. 2 minutes.
All right. So yeah, I already
starts
mentioned the.
now.
So I already mentioned the handcuffs. That was bullshit. They should have done something with that. They could have easily CGI'd that. The way the TVA was such hyped up, like I was feeling it. I was feeling the TVA being overpowered, knowing everything. You're Time Lords. You're in control. There ain't nothing Loki can do. You're up against some serious shit. You got the time bracelet. You got the realm where magic doesn't work. You got the freaking whole setup where I can basically erase you from time right now. So you better fall in line. The whole feeling, and then Loki pickpockets from freaking Morbius. Really? And he doesn't know? What the fuck? I was expecting some kind of very smart, very witty way for him to get out of it, for some kind of progression. And even I'm like, dude, he just took from your pocket. Like, you didn't, like, seriously? Fucking you got pickpocketed? You're some big-ass time agency? And then he plays with that one chick. He rips off the necklace. Like, he could have ripped off the necklace whenever the fuck he wanted to. Right? But he just does it then, like magically. Oh, I forgot. I can actually have a hand here. I can just rip off my necklace at any time. When he tried, getting away a million times before.
You mean the thing around his neck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he only did that when he took the thing from the girl. He unlocked it. Then he took it off his neck and put it on her.
Oh, so he actually unlocked it before he ripped it off?
Yeah, he did.
I thought he freaking literally ripped it off.
No, he unlocked it.
Okay,
A
that's
little remote
cool.
control
That's cool.
thing.
Yeah. He did get the remote.
But he fooled him completely, right? Like Morbius was like, you can't fuck with me. I got you. No matter what you do, I know everything that you're on lock in here. And then he just does a simple little pickpocket to forward the plot. The lie. He everything that he was saying, right? I know everything you're gonna say. We've heard everything you say. I know you like the inside of my face. You see Loki making fun of rewinding that chick to oblivion, and then he tells him, I don't like hurting people. Bitch, we just saw you enjoying rewinding that bitch to oblivion. Don't fucking lie to us. Fucking crap. The only last thing I hated was the writer, and I said this before earlier, guys, that the person who wrote Loki, the only thing this man, the head writer, is accredited for is writing one episode of Rick and Morty with Rick on his toilet. So this guy got magically a whole fucking series given to him as a head writer, and he has no accreditations to his name whatsoever. Free pass. Yeah, free pass. He has written nothing.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
So, 2 minutes for me. I say what you will. Listen, if you can get to the time stone, if you can get to any of the stones, and we know he's going to go to different times in this. We know they're going to send him. So there's some device that opens up a porthole to other areas. Once he's in those areas, what do those time stones do? What do those stones do? They're dangerous. You keep them away from people. They're making it sound like they're nothing. No, they're still dangerous outside of that area. So you do want to watch what's happening, because Loki does show that he can still finagle his way through. And listen, it isn't about Owen Wilson's character Mobius knowing everything that Loki does. It's not about that. You could know a person inside and out and still make a misstep and still pay that price. Sometimes it's just the sheer fact of, I can't believe I didn't see it for what it was right when it happened. It can happen. But the thing is you have these you have these stones, I'm sorry, not to keep mentioning the time stone, but anyway, you have these infinity stones. They are still dangerous somewhere. And we do know he's going to go out. They have this doorway that lets you in and out of this place. And the other thing I'm trying to figure out is when you talk about pruning, I'm trying to figure out if he still exists. He is a secondary existence of himself in the timeline that they say is correct. So when you see him in the TVA, he is still that secondary existence. If they prune that spur of time completely, that existence of him does not work. So they're not purely fixing that moment up exactly. So if you understand what I'm saying, when you prune a tree, you're not going to get that every little bit of that branch out. In fact, they tell you what to do. They tell you to put tar or something else to keep it from growing back. He is still a secondary extension of himself from their proper timeline. So it doesn't make any sense that he isn't able to still affect a lot of things. And they're nonchalant, these are just toys thing is just, there's a lot of things that they're not really making sense on this, and it really drives me nuts. But it is a lot of the 10 years doesn't seem to mean much to them, because, and I'm sorry, I'm going a little over. The Eternals, the planetary beings, all of these people, the Chaos Stone, or the Infinity Stones, are absolutely like the big thing in this universe, if I'm correct, right? For everybody, even though some of them can withstand things about them, some of them can control them, they are still a big part of this universe. And the TVA is just a part of that universe. So I'm not sure how they don't see it as a big deal to lock them up at least. That is a big problem. But okay, let's just get past that. 2 minutes. We'll start with a positive. I want your overall grade for this episode. I want your predictions and final thoughts. Okay? So overall grade, predictions, final thoughts. 2 minutes. Positive, go.
Okay, overall grade. I mean, I'll give it a B to start out. And then predictions. Unfortunately, this might be the high. and it's going to go downhill because of once the wokeness begins, everybody's going to jump on the woke train. And by that I mean female Loki, who's obviously going to be in this sooner or later. So whenever she appears, that's when the woke train will hit, and everybody be jumping on her ass and pinging this show for being going the woke route. What does it mean? To me, it means, well, you're kind of saying that the Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse of Madness movie doesn't matter because it should be corrected right away by this TVA then, if it splits off into some multiverse. Why call it Multiverse of Madness if it's not allowed? Are you saying that they allow certain multiverses and not others? You're breaking your own rule in a way with this show. You can't have it both ways. You either have it one way, where there's a certain timeline and no multiverses, or you have it where multiverses rule. You can't have it one way. Have it both. So to me, that's kind of where I see this going. Is that it's only going to cause more problems than with them saying, oh, because once something breaks off now in Doctor Strange 2, then what are you saying? You're allowing one multiverse to break off, but not others? I mean, it doesn't make sense,
Yeah. I understand what people are saying here in the chat about there has been a female Loki. That's fine.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's complaining about that. It's depend on how they execute. And the main thing I think people understand too, Loki is a man. He's also a shape changer. He has the ability to change form. Just because he changes himself into a woman doesn't mean he's a woman. He also changed himself into a horse in the Norse mythology. Doesn't mean he's a horse either. Mm-hmm. He's the god of mischief. He does these things for a reason. It's all dependent on how they execute it.
And got pregnant.
Oh, did it? Okay, I don't remember that part. But that's
turned herself into a horse and got pregnant.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the horse got pregnant. That part I do remember.
Positive. What was your grade again?
I gave it a B, and I think this is high. Unfortunately, as high as it's going to get, because once they bring female Loki, it's unfortunately going to go downhill fast.
Okay, very good. Anzo, you got 2 minutes. Go ahead.
What are we doing? The ranking?
Grade,
predictions.
Predictions and final thoughts.
My grade. I'm gonna give this episode an fuck. I don't want to give it too high, but I'll go with an A. I'll give it an A. I really thought it was a decent episode. It was pretty good. B plus A. I'll go with that. Predictions. I have no idea. I think they're gonna explain more and maybe try and use this series to fix some of the multiverse problems, because I know they're gonna have more in Doctor Strange. So I think the little ones that have passed, maybe with Loki leaving, they're gonna have to go and deal with those type of multiverse problems and try and fix those in the future episodes. Other than that, yeah, I give it a B plus A.
Okay. All right, very good. Danny, 2 minutes if you need it. Go ahead.
I'm gonna give this an A minus. I liked it. Like I said, little goofy things, the jokes wise was a little goofy to me. One thing I didn't say that was a little confounding to me is that if inside this time variance bubble things don't affect them, then how is this evil Loki or whoever able to kill them? Because wouldn't they be protected? Just think about that. But other than that, I really like the show. I think I'm going to enjoy it. Not really sure what they're going to show. I think this is going to be different. What's the phrase you use with Mandalorian? Different little side trips or side adventures, side missions to try and fix and repair stuff. I think you're probably going to see little funny moments, little moments going to be like, oh, that's going to tie into different movies and different things. Probably going to make us go back and watch other movies. See, okay, so that what that meant. Kevin Feige is good at sit doing little things on one movie that make you go back and watch a previous movie, a past movie, and say, "Oh, so that's what that was. I didn't realize that." So I think we're going to see a lot of that. It's only 6 episodes. I don't think that I'm gonna hate it like I did the first 3 episodes of WandaVision. So I'm looking forward to it.
Okay.
45 minutes. That's a good time. So
All right.
I think they're on the right track.
All right. Comics. 2 minutes if you need it.
All right. Predictions. If it holds to the pattern so far, the villain will be the hero of the story. They'll find some way of justifying it, making them be the in the right. Whether that's male or female Loki, who knows? But we shall see in the coming episodes. But I definitely think they're gonna do the 180 like they did with the other 2 series. My grade, I'm pretty sure no one's going to agree with, but that's fine. I give it a D. Like I said, it didn't capture any of my interest at all. I'd rather be watching something else. And that's all I got.
Okay, very good. That's all I ask is you to give it the way you want to give it. Up next, Guy Scar, 2 minutes if you need it. Go ahead.
I'll give it a C plus. Besides the Infinity and other things that I didn't mention before, one thing I didn't mention before about my dislikes was, why was it okay for Thanos to skip the timeline?
Well,
Time
even
travel.
the Avengers, they said it was okay, but it's like the Avengers ultimately led to him getting the Tesseract and disappearing. It's like, they're kind of like jumping through hoops to make it force.
Exactly. As predictions, I think that this whole Loki and this reality is going to actually cause or help cause the multiverse of madness. So that's my prediction, that this is going to show how that chaos is going to happen to create that multiverse of madness, which is going to lead into the Doctor Strange, and we're going to see a bit of it this year in the Spider-Man 3.
We can only hope, though, man, because that's kind of the problem with these shows, is that so far there's no impact into the greater universe.
Well,
and I
know of.
I have a feeling it's going to be the same way. It would be good if they actually had this lead into the multiverse of madness, because that means there is actually some impact into the universe with these shows.
I hope it does, to be honest with you.
Well, I heard somewhere that Kevin Feige said that these shows are not going to have that type of effect on the movies and like that,
right,
because
they're basically filler.
Yeah, filler.
That's
exactly.
Horrible. That's a horrible choice.
Yeah.
I'd agree. I agree. It's a horrible choice if that's what they're planning on doing, because we would like to have some stakes, right, in these shows, and be like, "Oh yeah, this is going on to this." Yes, wicked. Yeah,
I would always love a steak. I'm sorry, wrong thing.
I think the reason why I made these shows was made because we, as fans, was complaining, how the hell y'all launch Disney Plus? They ain't putting no content on it. So now they're putting content on it. Nobody says that they have to be connected.
When they launched it, though, we knew this stuff was coming like years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my issue.
Yeah, but I'm talking about that first year. There was a complaint from the time gap from The Mandalorian to nothing.
Yeah, but they
these shows had already been planned before that, though.
Exactly. We were wondering why didn't
I'm
they
not
have
saying
it
it wasn't.
No, I understand what Danny's saying. They're saying that they didn't have as much content as like Netflix and Prime and stuff like that until they did the purchasing of Star, and where now they're Fox as well.
Yeah.
My issue with this, really quick, to Geiskar's point, is that I believe that they still could impact the movies, but the thing is we don't know it until we see the movie, and that's the only time. It's like normally when they do this type of thing. Case in point, X-Files. X-Files spent multiple seasons building into a lore, and then the movie was about the lore, and it kind of wrapped up a lot of different things, and that helped the movie. If this was building into the lore that they had already set up and continued with it, and then led off with an end point that said you have to watch the movie to get further into this, it would have helped these shows, and they're not doing that. So
another thing too, Chris, if you think about it, look at what happened with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where they tried tying stuff in to the movie continuity, and then they said, nope, we're not going to do that anymore. This is completely separate.
Because it got too hard for them, right? Because they had to, like, when they did, I think it was Winter Soldier, they tried to tie that in there, but they had to wait, so the episodes were pushed back and stuff like that, and it just didn't make sense for them. It doesn't make sense for them to do it that way.
But that's a handshake deal. Is as much information as you can get. You can't cut everybody off. You got to have one person who's a showrunner on these shows who knows what's going on as close to possible. And you don't get so minute and detailed that you're picking everything apart. That way, if there's things that change, those don't hurt what you're writing. You just go for the overall. This is what's happening in this movie, and we're going to tie in the overall premise to our show. We're not going to go into the nitpicky little parts here and there. We're just going to have this part of the universe and be in our show. A lot of these shows are wanting to get really particular, and that doesn't work because then you have to wait for these things to be finished. You don't want that. But no, okay, all right. 2 minutes for your predictions, your final grade, and your final thoughts, JJ. 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Well, like I said, overall, I like the episode, but I'll give the episode right now. It's seeing how it's just starting off. I'll give it a strong B plus. We'll see how the story goes and see where it ends up. My predictions are sparse because, like I said, I don't really know much of history or why things do the way they do. I just watch the shows to fill in gaps. Right now I'm believing that they want Loki to help them fight Loki, but I was paying attention to the end where it shows Loki dropping the lantern and burning the TVA agents, alive. That didn't look like a Hiddleston figure. It may be the female. Yeah, it may be the female. That's the only thing I can really see right now. But who knows? We just have to wait and see where the series goes.
Mm-hmm. All right, 2 minutes if you need it. Austinator, go ahead. Oh, Austinator, you're muted. Austinator.
Or he may have gone to the bathroom.
He might have. All right, LDG, we'll skip to you really quick. LDG, 2 minutes. Go ahead.
I give this one.
Wait. JJ, what did you say your final grade was?
You said a B plus.
B plus, yeah, B plus.
Okay. I just want.
Are you writing this shit down?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
God damn it! The rest of you guys do it. I have to do it. All right, here we go. 2 minutes. LEG, go ahead.
I give it a B with extra credit. We'll see how it goes from here. Again, some things I didn't like, some things I did like. But as far as my predictions are concerned, the show's called Loki. The person at the end of that screen, I think, is Loki. I think Loki's pissed off that something more powerful than the Infinity Stones exist. We're going to find out those three people, those three lizard people, whatever, have a strong feeling they're the bad guys. They're the bad guys. Loki's going to have to take them down. Timekeepers, space lizards, whatever you want to call them. Time lizards. He's going to have to... he doesn't like this whole... Right? We're going to find out some dastardly plot that these three people have been doing, trying to keep a single timeline, which most likely ends up to what those three people want the timeline to end up as. Loki wants to overpower this and free causality. He's going to be the one who ends up being that one that set everybody ablaze. I think the whole female thing is just watching Loki turn into a female for like 5 minutes. I don't think there's actually going to be a female version of Loki walking around. I think we're just going to see a version of Loki where he's going to get his powers back as soon as he goes back into any other universe or back into the main timeline or whatever, right? So he's going to have his powers back. So I think we're just going to see him turn into a female. But I think that's him. I think it's going to end up being where he's leading himself to be the one who defeats the lizards and then opens up to the multiverse, because now that the TVA is destroyed, this will allow a multiverse to happen, which we will find out what ends up exploding it, maybe in another series, whether it be Spider-Man or even the movie coming out July 9th, Black Widow. So that's what I'm thinking.
Okay. Nice. Good. Austinator, you're back. Go ahead. 2 minutes if you need it. Final grade, final thoughts, and predictions. Go ahead.
Overall, I'm gonna give the episode a B plus because even with the problems, I was entertained, and that's really all I come for in terms of entertainment. Is while I look for a good story and such, I also look at entertainment value. And overall, I was entertained, and I was probably the most entertained than the other first episodes. So I give it points for that. As far as my final, as far as predictions, I do think Lady Loki will come in at some point, and I do think that there's gonna be some sort of they're gonna have to go into certain aspects of the TVA, and I hope maybe they clarify some things they haven't talked about yet, and maybe this is like a evil organization that we don't know about, but then again, it's kind of like the Hydra thing where Shield was actually Hydra all along, so it's like kind of going back to something that they already did, but it'll be interesting to see how this show goes as it progresses.
Okay. All right. Boy, I'm trying to get this into 2 minutes. It's gonna be interesting. All right. My predictions. It makes no sense, again, going back to what this whole group does, that if they can snip out time down to the exact fragment that was split, why there's 2 Lokis, the one they have and the one that they're saying is doing everything wrong. So these people don't have as much control over time, I don't think. And I think perhaps we're going to get that scene where it'll be a Loki, be it a female Loki, be it another Loki. He's going to go up, and that Loki already knows because that Loki has existed where he's at. I think that he is the Loki that is out there. And so he's going to be able to explain to himself why he's doing what he's doing. I don't disagree with LDG that quite possibly the TVA could be the bad guys in this. And again, as soon as he gets out, he knows if he's going to go back and forth between TVA and different times, he might eventually figure out that if I have the Tesseract, if I have the Infinity Stones, if I can get a hold of them, that I can make shit happen out there, not in here. And as soon as I'm out, I'm able to do what I want. And I think that's what's going to involve that. And what they're trying to do is trick him into believing it. I do not believe for 1 second that him sitting there saying what he said to Morbius about, I do it to hurt people because it makes me feel big when it makes me feel like they're small. I don't believe that. I think that is him reciting. I think we're seeing classic Loki acting like he's defeated or acting like he's dead or acting all the stuff he's done in the past. I think we're finally seeing it. I think they perfectly framed that to make it look like he's being sincere. I don't think he is. My final grade, or the grade on this, is a B right now, and it's been like that on all 3 episodes, on all 3 seasons or shows I think so far, because it's a question mark of where they go from here. They started off in a decent spot. They need to get with it and not pussyfoot around what they need to do in this episode. They need to find some way. Yes, right. They need to get to the meat of this whole thing. Right. And they need to tie this into something. They need to make this make sense into the movies, and they need to make sure it's very apparent. Now, I'm not thinking they will, but I want to see that. That's what I want to see. But I
was going to say, can I say they showed Loki? Loki saw his death. Mm-hmm. He saw Thanos snap his fucking neck. On top of that,
I don't think he believes
he knows the TVA told him you didn't stray. And I think that really pissed him off.
Well,
so not only did you tell him, why did I never know about you? Because you never strayed. And then you find out you never strayed and Thanos kills my ass. I think it's on. I think that's the motivation right there that made him snap.
That's kind of it, but I think it's that he doesn't believe anybody can control him. So he's playing he's playing a part now. He's like, they think they're in control of me. I'm going to play that part so I can get out of whatever this is. He doesn't believe it yet. I think when he sees, and they made they were very poignant in zooming in on the film ending and flipping like that, as if in his mind he sees that, he says, this is just an act. They made this look like this. This isn't real. I don't think.
I totally got that was given him. That was the end of your life. That's it. There is nothing else beyond this.
That is that. I think it does have two meanings. I think that was the end of it, but he sees it as exactly what it is. It is a trick, because that's how he thinks of things. I trick people. And he thinks that if he buys into this trick that he has around him, that he doesn't believe. He believes all of this is a trick of somehow. That's what I think. I could be wrong. Okay, guys. We have been going now for about an hour and 30, actually just over an hour and 30 minutes. That's really good time for this many people. I appreciate it.
And Chris, thank you, by the way.
I
want to thank you because of all our theories. Just like WandaVision, you stuck to mine. So we'll see how long you stay on the LDG train.
Well, I'm going to say it again. Don't be as long as you don't say I told you so 2 episodes before the end. I might go with you.
And let me say this. There's a theory that Owen Wilson's character is Mephisto.
I've kind of
they had that stained glass where they showed the devil.
Exactly.
I was thinking, are they actually going to do Mephisto now?
I might even be the bad guy wasn't.
No, not hold my breath either. But I just thought it was funny.
It might even be Dormammu. You never know.
Oh God! Oh God! Don't do this. All right. Anyways, okay. So, guys, that is the round table in about 2 hours' time. Right? 2 hours' time. We've got the Bad Batch round table. Sundays are just becoming a crazy busy day for all of us here over on Khaos Central, and JJ and I just had stack on more tonight. We put more into tonight. Name that tune. You guys have all introduced yourselves. Just go ahead really quick one more time. Tell everybody about yourselves. Start down there with Positive Candor again. Positive, tell everybody about yourself, where you can be found really quick.
Okay. Well, Mephisto is not on my channel, by the way, okay? Just making that clear.
Okay. Good to know.
But yeah, you can catch me on my channel, Positive Candor, or on Twitter, Positive Candor.
Awesome. And Anzo.
Yes, sir. Bigger Forward Entertainment. You guys know where to find me. Usually on a show with one of these guys on the panel. Great show, Chris.
Thank you. Danny, go ahead.
Danny, aka Comic Chat. Streaming a bunch of you guys on other different shows. Like Chris said, 2 hours will be back with a Bad Batch. So please tune in if you're watching us now. Good show. Ready for next Sunday.
All right. Comics, tell everybody about yourself.
Hey, everybody, I'm Comics Division. You can follow me at Minds and Twitter at Comics Division, along with my own channel, which is Comics Division.
Awesome. Dice Guard.
Yep, the Basco Scenario. That's my channel. You can find me on YouTube, the Basco Scenario, as well as Instagram, Basco Scenario, and Twitter, Basco Scenario. Also on everything Khaos Central related, like Danny said, we all have our shows throughout the week. So make sure you're subscribed to Khaos Central, and hit that bell.
Yes. Yes. All right. Ooh,
Ding.
Ding. Ding. All right. JJ, go ahead.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy JJ. You know where you can find me. I'm on a lot of different shows throughout the week. You can find me here. Come check me out, and some of the usual, as Danny says, usual suspects in a couple hours over on the Bad Batch Roundtable. And just check all of our shows out, man. All of us have put content out, man. We all do great stuff. Like, share, subscribe, get the word out. You know, we're trying to get these people to where they need to be. Geishkar, congrats, man. 100 subs in a week, man. Congrats. You know, that's what we're talking about. We got to get these guys up there, even me. I'm trying to hit 300 subs. I'm almost at 250 now. You know, we're just trying to grow our channel. We're trying to get our names out there. Please, people. You know, without you guys in the chat, we wouldn't have a show. We wouldn't be YouTubers, so to speak, because without you guys, we would just sit here and be talking to dead air. And we appreciate every one of you in the chat. Thank you for coming. Chris, great show. Can't wait for next week. Great to see everyone. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Ostinator, go ahead and tell everybody about yourself. Ostinator.
I have a channel where I am at 165, 5 away from 170. So if you haven't subscribed yet, I do a bunch of shows over there. Shadow Eye Sunday, Monday, Good Old Wrestling Tuesday, Ostinator Friends Talk Pop Culture, Saturday Splash Talk, and I'm on other channels like Chaos Central for the Bad Batch Roundtable and the Loki Roundtable. JJ, aka Sithlord3827 for randomness at its finest. Chris Knights, the Real View 3000 for the weekly wrap up. Ninjoy243 for Galactic Chat, and Geeks Enjoy Nerderotica for Nerdgasm, and many other channels. Sometimes on Nick Weiser's channel on Tuesdays. And you know what? That's it for me. Thanks for having me on, Chris. Great show.
Thank you. And last but not least, LDG of Geeks Enjoy. I'm sorry, Geeks Enjoy. Go ahead.
Try to change my name so nobody can misspell it, and they still screw it up somehow. What's going on? LDG of Geeks Enjoy here, guys. Just trying to change the world before I die by hashtag Free the Net, Project Prometheus. Follow me on Twitter at Geeks Enjoy, capital G, capital E. Hit me up soon on nerdrotica.com, guys, and on YouTube, Geeks Enjoy. LDG of Geeks Enjoy, Geeks Enjoy It, Geeks Enjoy Watch Parties, Geeks Enjoy Rants, Geeks Enjoy Live Streams. I'm all over the place, guys, so let's have some fun. Also, the backstage. My backstage link is on Twitter, an offline hangout place where you don't have to be by yourself. Come hang out. You never know what you're finding or what's happening in the backstage. In the backstage.
Mm-hmm. All right, I am
I gotta make a
Chris
song
Knight
for that.
of the Real Review 3000. There's just a few things I want to go over. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for everybody in the chat. Great show. Appreciate all of you guys. But I do want you guys to look down at the bottom of this video if you're watching after the fact on the replay, or if you watch live. Check and see if you see a little red rectangle down below that says subscribe. You have done it wrong. You have to click that button and subscribe today to Chaos Central. Also, we are on Instagram, and we are also on Twitter. We have a Facebook. We haven't done much with that. But on Instagram, I believe it is Chaos Central. And on Twitter, it's at Central Chaos. Guys, go sub, go follow, do all of that. Help us out, and let's get this going. We will soon be over on Odyssey for Chaos Central. I got some things that were going wrong, got that figured out. And with all that, guys, thank you very much to every one of you. I may not say it enough, but everybody here means something to me. I appreciate all your guys' input. And you are each a special person. Remember that, guys. With that said, I think...
Special.
Yes, you are special. Just
I
remember
am
that.
special. Yeah.
With that, we're going to go ahead and go out with the intro as the outro given to us by our wonderful Chaos Central person right over here to my, well, technically right, but left. It is Hanzo of Big Ford Entertainment who did this intro. Thank you very much, Hanzo. It's an awesome intro. Here we go.
No problem.
Take it easy, everyone.
Inevitable.
And thank you, LDG, for this part of it. I really do think this is kick-ass. Thank you.